out to a less dry area or a bucket. Bring it out.
Very interesting.
So obviously, for baseball fields, if you had a big puddle like that, you'd probably put a pump in certain locations, but areas like this, it's much easier to throw a mat down and get the standing water off right away, because if we can get the standing water off, less material down, easier to get back playing.
Thank you.
Climbing.
There's nothing they could do about this. How long when could you play on this field with something like this?
Oh.
A week? I mean, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, you're off for a long time.
Yeah. Our original mat, Calder's on, is over 100 times using it right now, and it works better as you go. So we're finding out new things. We originally thought it was going to be only about 30 times. So
the thing about these mats, this is a newer one. You have to work them in. It's almost like a baseball glove. If you took a brand new mat and put it on a puddle, it would just sit there. You actually have to activate it with a hose, and basically, just like a baseball glove, start playing with it. To give you an idea, Andy's going to use turfus on this area. I'm going to use our ready play on this area. You can basically see the water just goes right to it.
Put this in perspective. You got 5 or 6 coaches coming out here with all the.
Speak up a little bit.
If you had 5 or 6 coaches, all right, guys that kind of knew what they were doing, and you didn't have the outfield issue here, you didn't have the rest of the water, you just had the cut infield water. You would play this game in 3 hours.
So even with that little piece of water, it's the point where I can now apply product, and that took me 30 seconds. Most applications, like what Andy did, most coaches will take a 50-pound bag and just dump it and just start spreading.
I think like 20 pounds of
20 pounds?
yeah, the surface
Okay. Very quickly you'll see that we're real close from this.
I told you, man, this is quicker. If Andy stepped on this one now, it's not playable.
It's getting close. But I
dumped 20 pounds on there though.
Well, but still, you're seeing his foot going to the side.
Right.
I use maybe a pound of material, and I haven't even incorporated a lot of it.
Yeah, it's more stable.
What will happen is with this product, it will grab to each other, and as you rake it, you'll break it apart, and it just gets drier and drier. So you'll see the lighter spots in this field just means it hasn't even touched any type of water, so I probably put too much.
one thing, this field's a good example because all this drying agent on here, I mean.
I was going to ask you, you've already got a lot of surface or something
Yeah,
on there. A lot of it's already in this.
A lot of it's already in it. It's kind of hurt the playing surface. I mean, they put a lot of work into this thing, and you know, there's nobody to take the material off. You know, probably 9 out of 10 coaches, even high school coaches, they're not taking material off. And to me, the best part about this as a coach or a former coach is it's going to make the field better tomorrow. And that'll actually take on water tomorrow. So these wet areas, the more we apply to it, what we're seeing is we won't have the puddles. You just rake it. Just go out and rake it.
We got a call from the municipality yesterday, and he said the coolest thing about the surface dry product is exactly what Andy says. It's a residual where they're seeing those areas that typically puddled. They're not puddling nearly as much. And so they're seeing where their guys, that they're 8 guys that manage 35 fields, don't have to work the fields nearly as much, which municipalities love.
We took the Whiteland Junior Varsity Field, an area about like this, and the picture on the brochure with the feet on it, that's a day later. The rest of the field was hard as a rock, and with one light raking, nothing near the raking they've done here, with one light raking, it's back moist and very playable with good footing. So, you know, you're able to make cuts, you're able to play the ball more evenly. Yeah.
Yeah. Andy used, did you say 20 pounds were in those bags?
Yeah.
Okay. So we've used maybe 2 pounds.
So if you come back the next day, Brian, it's going to look about like that. Yeah. Oh yeah.
He does that every night at the ball diamond.
Yeah, you can tell he does by the way he rakes.
If you wanted to get this field playable, you easily could. You'd probably get your kids out there, each give them a mat, start picking up the puddles, and you'd be able to play by 4 o'clock, 2 o'clock, however long.
Well, infield, you'd be ready in 3 hours.
Yeah.
Just the
Yeah,
infield.
oh yeah, just the infield.
Just the infield.
But to get
This
the grass
stuff,
as
you're,
well,
yeah.
it would take longer.
There's the picture Don was talking about. Now, when we did the presentation for Don originally, we made puddles like this twice.
Could you run a core aerator across the field and then broadcast this in and soak it down?
The other neat
That
thing
picture's
about this
theoretical.
product